Hello, Mgtow. Hello, men. This is Howard Dare. Thanks for stopping by. So, I want to talk about how to rule the world and everything in it. But first, let me say thank you to everybody who's been stopping by, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, even donating. I really appreciate it. You know, the channel survives based on views, and it is through the support of viewers like you that enable us to do what we do here at the Howard Dare channel. Every time I've heard, like channels say, viewers like you, I've always thought to myself, no, not like me, like someone else. But no, really, viewers like you. I just need a million more of them. So go ahead and help me out, click on that like, share button, subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Now, before I get started on how to rule the world and everything in it, just let me quickly say, concerning my previous video, actually, was it my previous video, ladies and gentlemen? Like 1 or 2 ago? I don't really remember, and it's not that I don't have a memory or that I can't count. Seriously. Seriously, I have those qualities. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. It's not that, it's just that there's so many videos, right? It's just, they all turn into a giant blur, right? One after another. It's like, I can't really tell you. Oh, yeah, now I remember. Great Expectations. How to Get What You Want from Women. Wasn't that a great book? You remember it, right? Just Great Expectations. I'm sure you've all read it. I'm sure you all, keep a copy of it in your back pocket. Great Expectations. Now, the important point that I kind of want to cover again on that is that it's this expectation of this certain behavior, like equal treatment, decency, kindness, affection, fairness, that the men have. And, that's their expectation, right? And then when that doesn't happen, they get all disappointed and upset, and it just, screws them up emotionally. I'm talking about myself, right? Stop having that expectation, right? Just stop expecting these sort of things from other people, right? If it's not a man and it's not a certain type of man, just expect childish, dependent-like behavior from them. And even that it goes so far that they actually demand that you treat them, as a leader, as an authority figure, as somebody you have to look up to, or they're going to go real haywire, okay? Even, you're going to have to even indulge some of that. Right? Don't even expect them to know that they don't know what they're talking about. Okay, so there you go. What was it I was going to talk about here? It must not have been very important. Oh, yeah, how to rule the world and everything in it. Okay, are you sure you really want to know this? I mean, because, see, here's the thing, right? How do I know that you won't misuse this knowledge to cause all kinds of damage throughout the world? I mean, it would be pretty irresponsible of me to just tell everybody how to rule the world and everything in it. And let me further say, that if you still want to go through with something like this, what does that say about your individual character? Now hear me out, okay? I understand that, a person just wants to have a good life for themselves and everything like that. But what is it that makes a person want to rule the world for other people? If you want some examples of that, go ahead and look at communism. Go ahead and look at any authoritative system that goes too far. Some of it's necessary, right? It's a balance, right? Like you're giving people structure and rules, otherwise they would destroy themselves largely. You have to teach them, right? I'm not completely opposed to authority, people, to structure. But the presumption of inexperience, of youth, is that you're going to force everything in the world to be okay. You're going to tell other people what to do. You're going to force them on what to do, and it's going to be for their own good. So even if they're not going along with it, eventually they'll thank you, and they'll appreciate all the, good work that you did. But it doesn't work out that way at all, right? Because the individuals are not taking responsibility for themselves. Their freedom and their self-motivation is not involved. Their behavior is being coerced. It's not their behavior. And the, motivation behind doing it, fixing everything and making everything good in the world for everybody, was just an egotistical presumption on the individual's part. So if you want to rule the world and everything in it, that kind of disqualifies you a little bit. So do you still want it? Okay, you still want it. All right. But let me tell you this, okay? It's a suck job, okay? I've had it, right? And I thought it was going to be great, and it stunk. It was just a whole bunch of responsibility. Nobody appreciated anything, and it still didn't work out the way you want it to work out. You know what I mean? Everything still just went the way it went. It's kind of like you're trying to, herd a bunch of cats, and they're just going wherever they want. And you're pretending that you're herding them, but they're just going the way they want. So it's kind of like that. Very frustrating job. In other words, you work really hard, you do a lot of work, you never have any time for yourself, everybody is complaining and blaming you, and it's like you don't get anything done. Like you're not really having any sort of an effect. So, would you still want to do it? Okay, all right. Well, here's the thing. I can't tell you how to do it. Not all at once. I can tell you the steps to take to get there. And you're going to have to do it one step at a time. And I suppose I can tell you the first step. Some of you already know this, but a lot of you don't. And my videos are going out to the people who are looking for some insight, who are looking for some help, who they don't have everything working perfectly. They're not on top of their game. Life isn't, going great for them. These are the people I'm talking to. And I'm talking to you about taking control of your world, right? Because that's what you want. You know that the whole idea of taking control of the world is a silly idea. And anybody who wants it is kind of crazy. You don't want to control other people. You want them to be free. And then you want them to go their own way, find their own way, have a good life, and build in the world, right? And then they can contribute to you and to your situation through a kind of fair trade situation. That's the healthy way to be looking at it. That's, that's what you want. That's how. Okay, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We're just recovering from an audio glitch here at the Howard Dare Studios. I went through the rest of the video, and I realized that the audio had just cut off right there. It's true, it's as if the universe didn't want me to share this secret with you, okay? But I'm going to do it, and it's a really important thing. So here's the thing. You're going to have to learn to say no to your own desires. And I don't mean that you're going to have to learn to deny yourself your desires. No, I'm just saying that you have to learn to not let them control you. One of the saddest things when a red pill man meets up with a blue pill man and he says, but don't you love women, right? And he doesn't understand that that's not the question. The question is your desire and affection for women controlling you, right? It's like, look, I love food, okay? But I'm not going to run out into the traffic to get a cheeseburger, right? I'm not going to give $100 if I'm really hungry. I want food. I desire food. I do things to get food. Food is my master, okay? But not really. Maybe I love the food so much that when I start eating it, I can't stop because it's that good. This is what you're going to have to learn to say no to. You're going to have to learn to get that aspect of your personality that says, but I like the food. I know you like the food. I like the food too. But after, a half a gallon of ice cream or something, you got to put it aside. You've got to set it down, right? Or you become a big fat pig and you become sick. Now, what about the desire for women? What if every time a man feels, I was just checking my audio there, right? Every time a man feels, this desire for women, he just completely gives himself over to it, right? It's amazing. It's just amazing when I'm hanging out with a guy and it's like he's looking at some really ugly girl and it's like, oh man, look at her. And it's like, no, don't look at her, man. That's disgusting. And it's like, what are you, gay? And it's like, no, I'm not gay. But I'm not attracted to every little whore that walks in front of me. And the way that the women act as if every man does want to be with them, right? So you've got these women that aren't even taking care of themselves, that don't know where they are. They're on a whole bunch of medication. They're not taking care of themselves. And they're acting like they're like a little princess, a little country princess, that everybody is just doing things for. And it's like, no. Right? You might be able to pull this trick on the men in your life and things like that, but this doesn't mean anything to me. And it's not that. The important thing is that I'm able to carry myself with the dignity. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter what's going on with her, right? Because I might have to smile at her and hold that door open for her. But what matters is that within my own self, I'm not bowing down to her. I'm not chasing after her like a dog chasing after a car, like a puppy begging for a treat. That's what I'm saying has to be brought under control. And not just under control. Actually, that's too strong of a word. You don't even have to bring it under control, okay? You just have to recognize and not be its slave. That's all. You just have to not be its slave. That instinct that the man has to just instantly go along with the attractive woman, that instinct, he needs to put a check on that. That's all. He can still go along. If he looks at the situation and says, hey, I want to see where this leads, that's his judgment. But he can't allow it to override his judgment. Not on food, not on drugs, not on sex, not on money, not on aggression, not on anything. Now, you get to be yourself, right? You get to have your feelings and go with your feelings and things like that. But your feelings, they don't get to have their way with you. They don't get to do that. You can relax, you can go along with it. You know what I'm saying? So I believe if you can just put in that one little instance of control on yourself, and it's not even a denial, it's not even a constant vigilance. It's just the idea that your metabolism, your wants, your desires, your natural instincts are not in complete control. You are in control of them. And that will enable you to say no. And that will enable you to take back control inside of yourself. That's the way I'm looking at it. So sorry that I, strung this along. I do that. But I appreciate you guys hanging out and sticking with me to the end. And go ahead and click on the like, share, subscribe button. And if you're feeling really generous, go ahead and donate to the Howard Dare channel. Maybe even request yourself a Howard Dare video. I would appreciate it. And join me again, Howard Dare, as I plan to have more content for you. Thank you, Mgtow.